management of the body. And today we're going to go through some of the basics of a solid Hatha Asana practice. And I will also give you, of course, the reasons why we practice, the importance of a regular practice, even 1 hour a week, is going to improve your posture. It's going to improve your breathing. It's going to release stress from your body. It strengthens your bones. It promotes balance, and it grows muscles. You know, we can go to a gym or we can just lift weights to increase our muscles, but you don't get the flexibility. So flexibility with strength are the things that allow us a complete range of movement, gives us more choices in life of what we're going to do every day that will hopefully be pain-free, that will be done with ease. And who doesn't want to slow down the aging process and stay young for as long as we can? That's my MO in life, and I don't think there'd be anybody out there who wouldn't want to join me in that MO, which is modus operandi in Latin. Okay, so let's begin on our backs for a moment and draw the knees up in towards your chest. How's my sound tech guy? Is it good? Yep. Okay, and just drawing your knees up, and let's make some big circles on our backs. Holding on to your knees. If your knees are wide apart, you'll cover more territory on that lower back area. And here's a chance. In fact, every moment of the day gives us an opportunity to be mindful, to feel and notice what we're doing, how we're doing it, how it feels. That's just biofeedback. We don't want to miss out on our body's messages to us. I know there's pain sometimes and we want to ignore it, or we take an aspirin or some kind of painkiller, and yeah, we got to do that until we figure out what's causing that pain. Bring your knees together, take your arms out to the side, shoulder height. Palms can be facing up or down, but I find if the palms are facing down and you press the small of your back into the floor, that you're going to be using more of your abdominal core muscles, keeping your knees together. Let's lower them both over to the left and turn your head to the right. And keep your right shoulder on the mat. Feel the activation of your obliques. Inhale to center, your head to. Exhale, knees to the right, head to the left, and left shoulder stays on the mat. So I'm gently warming up the lower spine. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhale, both knees now, down and to the left, head to the right. Remember, your right shoulder stays on the mat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take your knees over to the right, head to the left. Notice a little more mobility in that lower back area just by doing this twice, and we're going to do it thrice, 3 times. Going to the other side again, your knees are to the left, your head is to the right. So note, are you getting more mobility through the lower back? Stretching the ligaments, the tendons, mobilizing the joints. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhale, both knees over to the right and the head to the left. So joints require movement. All of the body requires movement. Think of your joints like a sponge where we squeeze everything out and then we bring in fresh nutrients, fresh liquids and fluids. This is what nourishes your joints, keeps them in good shape. And then straighten your legs straight up. And the thing is about your joints is that, especially your spine, those of you who understand a car, when your joints aren't mobilized properly and the cartilage gets really dry, it's like the brake pads of a car. They're gone. And once they're gone, now you get into the rotors. It just becomes a very expensive repair. In our case, it could be not even accessible. Okay, with the legs straight up, I want you to lower your left leg down to the floor using your muscles, not gravity. Keep the other leg stable, still. Inhale, draw that leg up. Feel your inner thigh, your inner adductor muscle working. We're also mobilizing the hip joints here. Lower the right leg down to the right side. So we're stretching that inner thigh muscle, lubricating the hip joint. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. You're also activating your abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominis. One more time, take that left leg down to the left side. Go as slow as you can. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, the right leg down. Excellent for your hip health. And when we move slowly, there's less chance of us creating an issue anywhere in our tissues. Inhale, bring that leg back up. Okay, take the legs now halfway to the left, together. Both legs to the left, and breathe. Now you really feel your core activated. Inhaling, both legs to center. Exhaling, keep your legs glued together as you lower them halfway to the right. Now, if you turn your head to the left, it can help a little bit. Notice the muscles, breathe. Inhale, come back to center. And then let's come into happy baby and stretch the lower back after strengthening it. So you're grabbing your insteps. If you need to, bring your insteps lower towards your bum, bring your heels towards your bum, and then let's try to bring the ankles directly over top of your knees. So this is a nice stretch, safe stretch for those tight hamstrings. And then press your sacrum into the floor just a little bit. You'll feel a little more tension on the hamstrings. Breathe into them. Don't hold your breath. And your knees are outside of your torso. So this nice compression here on your ascending and descending colons, safely stretching your hamstrings and breathing. Alrighty, releasing. Keep your knees bent, flat. Your feet are on the floor and your heels are lining up with your sits bones. Arms are beside your body with your palms facing down. Let's tuck the shoulder blades under the heart. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest to lengthen the back of your neck. And then let's press the small of the spine into the floor. Peel your spine off the floor, lifting up, locking here at the throat, Jalandhara Bandha. So we have an opportunity here to squeeze impurities, toxins, waste, maybe even nasty little swear words out of the throat area. I don't know, I've been a little bit bad lately, but there's been a lot going on. By the way, I have found a new place to live. The house I live in just sold yesterday, so no more showings. I don't have to tidy up every 2 days and leave my house, which is really nice, and I'm looking forward to the new adventure. Pressing, living in, still in the beach, but a different part of it. So feel
your thighs activated. Feel your hamstrings working. One more inhale, up. Exhale, starting from the top of your spine. Slowly bring your torso back down onto the mat. Take your feet to the edges of your mat. Take your arms out to the side. Once again, shoulder height. Keep your chin tilted towards the center of your chest to keep that length in the back of your neck. And let's take both knees over to the right. Both knees over to the right. Working that left knee and thigh down towards the floor. So now we're stretching through the waist. You're stretching your obliques. Inhale, keep your feet where they are at the edges of your mat, side of your mat, and bringing the knees to center and then over to the other side. So now we're stretching through the right hip and thigh. Notice what might be happening in this area. Breathe into it. Always practice with awareness, respect, and compassion for where your body is right now. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhale, both knees over to the right. Now you're going to pick up your right foot and ankle and place it on top of your left knee. So adding a little bit of pressure to stretch out your IT band, some of the fascia. So the fascia is a very important material in the body. It encases the muscles. And we need to stretch the fascia as much as we need to stretch the muscles. The fascia also are part of our immune system. So working with it. If you have one of those foam rollers at home, they really work the fascia. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do with those. And release the right foot and ankle slowly. Come back to center. And exhale, take both knees over to the left side. And now you're going to pick up your left foot and place it on top of the right knee. So stretching through the hip, the thigh, the obliques. Those are the two muscles that wrap around your waist. They're part of your core strength. Without a strong core, we'd just be bones hanging off a spine that also would not be supported. So we need a strong core. Makes it easier to get up, sit down, walk around, climb stairs. Release that foot, place it back on the mat. Slowly come back to center. And now let's draw both knees into the chest. Can you wrap your arms around your knees, maybe grabbing your ankles? So now we're getting into our transverse colon. So it's always, of course, appropriate to practice on an empty stomach. Ideal, better word than appropriate. You want to practice on an empty stomach. Yoga is assisting your physical body to replenish itself with nutrients and remove the waste products more efficiently. Okay, bring your hands underneath the backs of your thighs and let's rock up and come on over onto all fours. Curl your toes under. And let's stretch the arches and stretch the toes. I know that this is a tad painful, so practice it once in a while at home so it won't be quite as painful when we practice it. Just breathe into it. Know that you're stretching those toes. They're going to be free soon when we start wearing our sandals, flip-flops, whatever it is you wear in the summertime. Barefoot, how about that? Yes. Okay, and then coming on to all fours, releasing the toes. Doesn't that feel great? Reminds me of jogging. It always feels great when you stop. Okay, let's just warm up the spine a little bit more, and then we'll move into our sun salutation. So lift your right arm up, sweep it up, look up, reach up, stretch up, and exhale. Bring it under, thread the needle, and bring your your right shoulder, right side of your face onto your mat. Tippy-toe the fingers of the left hand, reaching and stretching. You're going to feel this through the shoulder, the armpit, your pectoralis muscles. Breathe. So this is a lovely stretch for your spine, also mobilizing your shoulder joints. And there's a nice calming effect. Remember, when we connect with the earth energy, earth telluric energy, it helps to ground us. So when we're feeling a little anxious, coming to the floor to do any kind of work is helpful. Draw the arm in front. That would be your left arm underneath your shoulder. Let's press up. And now let's take that left arm, reach, stretch it up, look up. Nice stretch for the torso and the spine. And then sweep that arm down underneath and release your left shoulder, left side of your face, and tippy-toe the fingers of the right arm straight out in front. And breathe. Great. And now bring the arm that was in front back under your shoulder. Press up. Let's curl the toes under. And let's take a soft downward facing dog. And let's pedal the feet, stretching one leg by straightening it, pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. Relax your neck. I want you to think of your head today like a bowling ball. And let's change. And I say that because if you truly had to carry a bowling ball on the top of your head between your shoulders, I'm willing to bet you'd be a lot more careful about that forward head tilt. We've talked about it a lot. It's really important. When we come to standing, we'll check in. Let's change one more time. Feel that stretch in the back of your knee, your calves, your Achilles tendon. This is excellent for people who play racket sports. You want to keep your Achilles tendon stretched, your calf muscles. Otherwise, they get pulled. You run for the ball, and maybe you make the point, but you tear something. Don't want that. And let's change once again. Feel the stretch in the other leg, gently awakening with compassion, with awareness, with respect. Okay, let's walk the feet towards the hands and let your head hang. Keep your knees soft here. Let your belly rest on your thigh. Let that bowling ball of a head just hang, stretching out your cervical vertebra. This reverses the impact of gravity, which is always pressing down on us. About 2/3 of our day, unless you're taking lots of naps or lying down, we need to counteract the effects of gravity. Okay, pressing the soles of your feet into the floor, letting your arms and your head hang. Slowly roll up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Keep your chin tucked into your chest and let your head, aka your bowling ball, be the last thing to come up. Okay, so we should be a little bit warmed up here now. Give your legs a good shake out. So the thing with your head, of course, is you want the hole in your ears. If you live with somebody, you should check theirs. Nice, tech guy. Good. Just looking over towards the camera, looking at tech guy. So sometimes it feels unusual. And as I was driving to the studio this morning, you see no shortage of people leading with their heads. It's going to cause problems down the road. You're stressing out, creating arthritic, setting up arthritis for your upper back, your upper spine. The other thing is, remember, you've got 4 curves in your spine. One of them is at your neck. It's concave. So if our head is forward, we're not honoring the curvature, which we would when everything's straight up. So again, get your devices to eye level. I can't say it enough. I know you might think I'm a nag. I'm a motivational speaker. So make sure you're getting everything, even your iPhone, your iPad, get it up as high as you can, not your head down. There's enough other times where we have to have our heads down. Okay, let's come up to the fronts of our mats for Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. Half the sky had blue sky and the other half looked like it was going to rain this morning. So it'll be what it will be. Inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, arms up, reach up, look up, arc back. Inhale, stretch up, lift up out of your waist. Hinge from your hips as you reach and stretch forward. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Let your head hang. Step your right leg back. Drop your knee to the mat. Bring your shoulders directly over your hips. Lift that back knee off the floor, or you can leave it on the floor. Don't let your torso lean forward. Keep it straight up and down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Keep your shoulders down. Press through your back heel. This anchors your posture. Focus your gaze for balance. If you're wobbling, it's not a problem. You're just activating more muscles. Turn your hands forward. Spread your fingers apart. Place them on the mat. Take the other leg back. Draw your heart center towards your thumbs. Reach through the crown of your head. Press through your heels. Draw your bellies towards your spine. Bone strength. Really important, something we work at in yoga. So by bearing your own weight here, and if it's too much, bring your knees to the floor, cross your feet at the ankles, but you can create new bone osteoblasts. Really important to ward off osteoporosis by doing strengthening weight-bearing exercise. Release your knees now. Flatten the tops of your feet, pointing your toes backwards. Leave your hands where they are. Take your buttocks back towards your heels. Bring your belly onto your thighs and bring your chest so low that you're going to skim over the floor with your forearms on the mat. You're going to bring your chest and your chin onto the mat. So I heard a little bone movement. I think it was somewhere, I'm not even sure if it was in my neck or in my spine, but this posture and all of our back bends help us retain and maintain the integrity of our spinal columns and the flexibility, the suppleness. Okay, slide everything out behind you. Line up the edges of your tips of your fingers with the edges of your shoulders. Bring your elbows into your side body and then press your forearms down onto your mat. Roll the invisible alley with your nose, lengthening your neck. On an inhale, press your hips and pelvis into the floor and lift just the head, neck, shoulders, chest, maybe part of your diaphragm without using your hands, baby cobra. And this back bend, of course, helps to nourish and rejuvenate the kidneys and the adrenal glands, which are they're above your kidneys. So another beautiful aspect of yoga is that it de-stresses us. And that means that our adrenals are not working as hard, spewing acidic hormones like cortisol into our bodies, which lead to inflammation, which lead to all kinds of chronic diseases. There is just nothing that is better for your body than yoga, and I guess you all know that, but I'm always reminded of it. Inhale one more time, lifting up. Exhale, let's slowly come all the way down. Place your forehead on the floor. Curl your toes under. Come on up onto your knees and then lift your hips up and walk your feet a few inches forward and then bend your knees. Press your belly onto your thighs, press your chest towards your knees and align your ears with your inner arms. And inhale here, and on an exhale, let's lengthen the spine as we bring some weight into the lower part of the body, pressing heels towards the floor, straightening the legs, but not hyper, straightening at the knees. Keep them soft. And breathe. Bringing in earth telluric energy, let's lift that right leg up in the air. Look at your right hand. Swing that foot as far forward as you can. Other leg forward. And let your head or bowling ball hang. Bring your arms beside your ears. Engage your thighs by lifting up on your kneecaps. Pull your bellies towards your spine. Inhale, sweep up. Feet apart for balance, reach up, look up, and arc back. Inhaling, stretch up, your legs came back together. Exhale, forward fold, let your heads hang. Truly let it go here. We want to hold it, don't. Bend your knees and then inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Bring your palms together. Exhale into Anjali Mudra, or also known as Namaste. Okay, let's do another round. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart. Arms up, reach up, look up, and arc back. Inhale, bring your feet back towards one another. Lift out of your waist. Hinge from your hips. Fold forward. Uttanasana, let your heads hang. Step your left leg back, drop your knee to the mat. Bring your hands onto your front thigh. And then lift that back knee off the floor. Inhale and sweep the arms up. And breathe, focus your gaze, strengthening your bones. Press through your back heel, that is your anchor. Enliven your fingertips, they're not just hanging out, they're alive. Turn your hands forward and spread your fingers apart. Remember, middle finger points forward. Take the other leg back and draw your heart center towards your thumbs. Reach through the crown of your head, pressing through your heels. Pull your navel up towards your spine. Engage your rib cage. And breathe, strengthening your bones. Make sure your shoulders are not up around your ears. Press them back. Release your knees. Flatten the tops of your feet. Take your buttocks way back. Release your forearms and elbows onto the floor. And then slowly come forward. Keeping your bum up in the air. Release your chest and chin. This gets easier over time. I know it can be quite awkward, especially for those of us who are getting a little stiff in the upper back. That rounded, this is beautiful to counteract that. Keeping our bodies youthful. And then slide everything out behind. Lining up the fingertips with the edges of your shoulders, place your forehead on your mats. If you're intending to do the fuller expression, you may wish to widen your feet and roll your baby toes into the mat, or keep your legs together, whatever you're choosing. Let's bring the elbows into the side body and press the forearms down to the floor. Roll an invisible alley with your nose to lengthen your neck. You're looking straight down at your mats. On an inhale, you're pressing your hips and pelvis into the floor. Remember, if it's baby cobra, you're using the strength of your lower back. If it's the fuller expression, you're pressing the floor away from you, but keeping your shoulders and your shoulder blades away from your ears. And breathe. Remember, your eyes can be open or closed, but they're focusing up at Ajna
chakra. And breathe. One more inhalation. Exhale, lengthen as you lower. Curl your toes under and lift your hips up. Walk your feet a few inches forward, bend your knees, press your belly onto your thighs, press your chest towards your knees, press all 10 fingers into the mat a lot, and now press your heels towards the floor. I remind you, it doesn't matter if they ever touch. Mine, I'm not sure how much mine are off the floor, but they haven't touched in 32 years, and I'm getting a great stretch in the back of my legs, so it's not necessary to have your heels on the floor, but feel what you're stretching. Breathe into it. And lift your left leg up in the air. Look at your left hand. Swing that foot as far forward as you can. Other foot forward. And let your head hang. Let that bowling ball hang. Arms beside your ears. Pull your bellies in. Engage your thighs. Inhale, sweeping up. Feet apart for balance. Reach up, look up, and arc back. Inhale, stretch up, lift out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side. Bring your palms together. Exhale, into prayer. Flat out and relaxing. Flat out on your mats. Take a sip of water if you need. So coming into Shavasana, palms are facing up in the open and receiving position. We allow our bodies the opportunity now to receive the benefits, the gifts of our performance. Close your eyes, separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. And I'm going to tell you a little tale. There's an Indian or old Tibetan story about an old blind turtle who lives in the depths of the ocean. Once every 1,000 years, the turtle swims up to the surface and sticks his head up through the waves, surfacing for air. Now imagine that there's a wooden ring floating somewhere on the surface of the ocean. And think of how rare it would be for the blind turtle coming up for air once every 1,000 years to put its head through that wooden ring. Well, according to the Tibetans, it's just as rare for a being to gain a human birth. So the moral, or the reason I tell you this story is because obviously an occasion as rare as receiving a human birth is a precious human body is highly prized. And there's a reason that we're born with a body. It is through the body that we really experience life. It is through the 5 senses that we decide we like something, we don't like something. This looks good, this doesn't look good. This tastes good, this doesn't taste good. And learning to find the isness of everything in this lifetime, and beyond that, to see the divinity of everything, to see the beauty in anything, is really more of the purpose of this lifetime. But by taking care of this temple, which is, our bodies, which is considered a form of divinity, is how we can truly experience life with equanimity, life with gratitude, life with curiosity and wonder, less judgment, less I need this, or I want this, or I wish I had that, or she's got that and I don't have it, or he did that and that really annoys me. there's just so much that we are here to learn, that we are here to experience, and it all happens through the body. So by taking care of this temple and practicing yoga, of course, we get that opportunity to experience everything and just become a little less attached, a little more dispassionate as opposed to passionate. And yes, it's great to be passionate about things, but as long as it's not taking us to a place of, well, I really wanted that because that's what I really like, but if I have to have that, I'm not going to be happy. And it bums you out, it ruins your day, you know, on and on and on. So just a thought, and also to recognize that when we have these emotions, when we have these sentiments of resentment, negativity, or strong desire for something to be other than what it is, the beautiful thing is that yoga is working it all out of us. So when we come to a yoga class, we always feel better because we're letting go of things we didn't even know we put in there in the first place. And that is such a gift. Okie dokie. So let's bring our knees up into our chest, and let's rock up, and let's come on over onto our belly. So as I said, we're going to do a really classical hatha yoga practice. So we get that beautiful overall balance and feeling. Let's bring the arms beside the body with the palms facing up. Your forehead is on the mat. Your legs are together, your toes are pointing backwards, reaching your fingertips towards your feet. So we're going to practice locust pose, salabhasana, and then we're going to practice another version of it in a moment. Roll the invisible alley with your nose to lengthen your neck and look straight down at your mat. On an inhale, press your hips and pelvis up and lifting head, neck, shoulders, arms, and legs coming up. And breathe. Very demanding. You're working against gravity, but you're releasing fear. We store a lot of fear in the back of our body, including in our kidneys. So again, know that with yoga, we get to release a lot of waste, whether it's emotional waste, physical waste, mental toxicity. They're leaving, they're fleeing. One more inhalation to reach up. Exhale. Okay, let's turn our heads to the right. Big toes touch, heels splay out, and shoulders melt. This also works, of course, the cardiovascular system, getting more circulation throughout the body. As we breathe, that oxygen penetrates the blood and gets more oxygen to all of your cells so that they have the right energy to do the right things. I'm reading a very interesting book. I'm hoping I can present a synopsis of it over the next few weeks. It's called The Longevity Paradox. And it definitely addresses the idea of aerobic and anaerobic. So our body needs oxygen to function, as you all know. Okay, bring your head back to the center, forehead on the mat. Let's take the arms now out in front. And I'm thinking about a little bit of swimming here. Okay, so your forehead is on the mat, your legs are still together, and your arms are shoulder width apart, reaching out in front on the mat. Press your hips and pelvis into the floor, and on an inhale, lift up and just paddle your arms and legs. Whew. Really demanding. You're feeling this in your hamstrings, maybe more than anywhere else. Okay, lovely. And bring the arms back beside the body. Turn your head to the opposite side. Big toes touch, heels splay out. And let your shoulders melt.
And bring your head back to the center. Take your arms out to the side now, shoulder height. And let's lift the left leg up, bend at the knee, roll over onto your right hip. Tap the floor with your toe, big toe. Back over and down. Other leg up. Tap the floor with your toe, bending your knee, back over and down. One more time, left leg, bend at the knee, roll onto your right hip. Tap the floor with your toe, back over and down, and other leg up. Tap the floor with your toe, and take it down. And place your hands under your shoulders, and let's press up. Let's come into, now I'm hoping that you have a strap with you today or a belt. So I just want to get the idea here of using a strap or a belt. You're going to place that strap around the ball of your feet. And you're going to hold with both hands here. Now, let's pull the flesh away from the sits bones, underneath the sits bones, sitting nice and tall. Now, sitting really nice and straight here. So the strap is over, not your arch, the ball of your foot. The ball of your foot. So that would be your toe mounts. Right. Sitting up nice and tall. Because most of us struggle to sit up nice and straight. Tight hamstrings, weak lower back muscles, all contribute to that. So inhale, lengthen, feet are really flexed, flex your feet a lot. And now let's move a little bit forward. So folding forward. You're going to feel that in your hamstrings. At this time, can you move your hands down your strap? And inhale to lengthen. And can we now fold a little bit further? And for those of you who don't have a strap, you're holding onto your feet or your ankles. Breathing into your hamstrings, breathing into your lower back. Try not to round your back. One more inhalation, lengthening, maybe lifting your heart. And as you fold a little bit more, think about bringing your heart center towards your thighs. So this also helps us keep our feet flexed. And release that strap. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall now without your straps. So this should feel a little bit looser. Let's sweep the arms up, reaching up, stretching up, looking up. Exhale, let's forward fold now without the straps. Just come halfway. I'm willing to bet this feels a little bit easier now with this previous stretching that we did. One more inhalation. Keep flexing your feet a lot. And then reach forward and down. And now taking hold of whatever part of the foot or the ankle. Be mindful. If you have any back issues, come up a bit. Think about lengthening your spine. It's more important than how far forward you go. One more inhalation to lengthen. And last exhalation, folding forward. And walk your hands up your legs. Bend your left leg and place the sole of your left foot outside of your right knee. Interlock your fingers 2 inches below. Sitting up nice and tall. Sit up as tall as you can. Feel your sits bones. Bring your chest to your thigh. So not your chin, your chest. Bring your chest to your thigh. Keep flexing the foot of the straight leg. Flex it. That's pointing, tech guy. Flex. Okay, let's place the Left arm behind you, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale the right arm up, reach up, stretch up. Can you bring your elbow outside the knee? If that's not accessible, just wrap the elbow around the knee and bring your forearm down the side of your thigh. Okay, keep flexing the foot of the straight leg. Inhale, reaching up through the crown of your head. Can you feel your sits bones connecting with your mat? And on an exhale, twist, turn. Eyes can be opened or closed. Twists, of course, are part of a classic Hatha yoga practice. They are totally key for keeping your central nervous system, your discs, and your vertebra in good shape, both the integrity, the flexibility, bringing fresh blood supply into the discs, the vertebra, and the nerves. One more inhalation, reaching up through the crown. Exhale, release, and turning to the opposite direction. And let's change. Placing the opposite foot outside of the knee, interlock the fingers 2 inches below. Inhale, flex the foot of the straight leg. Place your right arm behind you to prop yourself up. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twisting, bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee or around the knee, whatever is available, whatever feels best for you this morning. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist. So here's where, think about rinsing, squeezing, twisting, water out of a face cloth. This is what you're doing with your abdominal organs and glands. This is incredibly cleansing. Squeezing impurities, waste, toxins. And inhale, reaching up through the crown. Exhale, release, twisting to the other side where fresh arterial blood rushes in. And come back to the center. And then come on onto your backs. For our inversion practice, remember you can take a block and place it underneath your sacrum. Try to use it in the highest position possible for drainage. Those of us practicing our shoulder stands, the queen posture of yoga, lift the legs up, halfway over, support your hips. You can stay here or drop the knees to the forehead, heels to bum. Walk your hands further up your back. And then straighten your legs, allowing the reversal of blood flow so that 75% of fresh arterial blood is now bathing everything above the heart, relaxing the valves of the legs. I'm just wondering out there, I don't, but I know someone who has restless leg syndrome. If any of you have that or have any ideas or solutions or remedies, I personally think that getting your legs in a reverse position like this, legs up the wall, and we're going to practice another version of a restorative yoga pose at the end of our practice again today. And I think these things would all be helpful for somebody with this issue. But yeah, email me if you have any thoughts or ideas. Take your legs wide apart and let's stretch the spine by lowering the legs over behind your head. Go slowly, be careful, pay attention. Inhale, wide leg, shoulder stand. Exhale, wide leg, plow post. Go slowly. Never do anything quickly. And back up and bring the legs together. If you can, let's hold another 10 seconds. Excellent. Lower the legs down over behind your head. Release your hands to the floor and slowly, with control, release your torso back down. Arms are beside your body. Gently roll your head from side to side. Slowly, mindfully. Do one more time to each side if you haven't. And coming back to the center. Inhaling in place, exhale, draw the right knee up and interlock the fingers 2 inches below the knee. Avoid the rib cage, pull down. Let's mobilize our ankle joints by pointing and flex, point and flex, and rotate. Make circles, lubricate these joints, nourish them. Remember, our joints are like sponges. We squeeze them, bend them, to get waste out, and then they soak up the nutrients after that. Place your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Take it across your body. Keep a little bit of pressure. Extend your right arm out to the right side. Beautiful release for the spine, and an excellent stretch for the biggest, strongest muscle, not the biggest, the strongest muscle in your body is your glutes. Your biggest muscle would be one of your quadricep muscles, your front thighs, but your strongest are your glutes, your butt muscles. Breathing, stretching, releasing. Inhaling, come back to center, straighten the leg, reach up towards the ankle. Don't hyperextend the knee. In fact, doesn't matter if your leg's really straight here, but for some of us, having your legs straight isn't an issue, and some of us, we're going to keep our knee bent. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Inhale in place. Exhale, pull the leg towards you as you lift your head, neck, nose, chin, maybe your lips, maybe you're kissing your knee. Breathing. And then release and use your muscles to lengthen and slowly lower the leg all the way down. Inhale in place, exhale, draw the other knee up, interlock the fingers 2 inches below. And again, let's mobilize the ankle joint by pointing and flexing, point and flex. Rotate, make circles. And place your right hand on the outside of that left knee. Draw it across the body. And notice whether this side is looser, maybe tighter. But just know by stretching, you're releasing all manner of tension and stress, fear, emotions that we've had that we stuffed into our bodies. When we stretch and breathe, we can let go. Remember, if you need more stretch, pull the knee a little bit higher up towards the head to release more. Inhale, let's come back to center. And then let's stretch and straighten that leg, reach it up towards the ankle. Inhale in place. Exhale, pull the leg towards us, bringing your chin, your nose towards your knee, your shin. Stretching that hamstring, compressing the ascending colon. Lovely. And now bring both knees into the chest and let's rock up. Come on over onto your knees. Curl your toes under. Let your head hang and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Coming into the center of your mats. Have your feet about one leg length apart, one leg length. And then turn your toes out. Make sure your toes are even. And then pivot on the ball of the front foot and pivot on the ball of the back foot. Inhale. Exhale. Bend that front leg. Look down and see your big toe inside of your knee. Keep pressing that knee out. Press into the outside of your back foot. This helps you keep your arches lifted. Arches lifted mean knees and hips are better supported. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 1. Your shoulders are above your hips, your wrists are over your ankles. Holding this posture, strengthening your bones. Now inhale and straighten that front leg. Reach over your front toes as far as you can. Exhale, lower that front arm inside of the leg. Reach the other arm up, stretching. Now lift up, lengthen. Energy goes up. Inhale, come back to center, and let's pivot on the feet and turn the opposite direction. Bending that front leg, keep your torso straight up and down. Remember, if your inner thigh muscles are not activated, then that means you're collapsing on your arch in the back foot and you're collapsing on the arch of the front foot. So by pressing that front knee away from your big toe and pressing into the outside of your back foot, you are activating and lifting the arch of your foot, which is going to affect many of your major joints, your knee joints, your hip joints. Lower your back arm, down your back leg, reach the other arm, stretch up, look up, reach up. Inhale, come back to center, 5-pointed star, fold forward halfway, tense your fingers on your mat, flatten your back, tabletop. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching, stretching, looking up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep the other arm up. Reach and stretch. Feel the stretch in your inner thigh. Exhale, float it down. Let's lunge over to the left or the right. It doesn't matter. And actually, the restorative posture we were going to do this morning, we will do it next week. That was with the chair. And you're lunging over to the other side, coming into the center, flat out and relaxing. Come on into your Shavasana. Flat out and relaxing, please. Feel good about your efforts this morning. Turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. Once you're settled, close your eyes. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax your jaw. And just do a quick scan. Start at your feet. Notice if you're holding anywhere. Let your feet relax. Let them relax. Splay out. Notice if you're holding in your thighs. Let them become soft. Notice if you're holding in your buttocks. Let them be soft. Your lower back. Allow yourself to feel fully supported. Relaxing your shoulder blades. Relaxing your neck. Relaxing all the muscles in your face. Feeling the weight of your body. In your mind's eye, seeing the outline of your temple, of your own divinity, of your own strength and unique beauty.
Yoga offers us a sense of confidence in our physicality, and confidence can translate into a humble but beautiful sense of pride and dignity, along with a joy and gratitude for this beautiful human birth that we are experiencing, serving others, loving, respecting all of life. Thank you for being with me today to share your practice. Namaste.